Ladies and gentlemen, this is a mixed martial arts bout scheduled for 3 rounds in the Shamrock Fighting Championships flyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the title MMA blue corner. A mixed martial artist, this stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. He weighed in at 127.5 pounds. Tonight he makes his professional mixed martial arts debut. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Hamid, Afghan Samurai for Moodley. Across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the first form red corner. This mixed martial artist currently undefeated. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighed in at 125.6 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Kris.
Referee Dwayne Best has the call for this fight. Adam, this is the one I've been waiting for all night long. Here we go. Quick touch of the gloves. That surprises me.
I think that's just kind of a habit.
Hamid going upstairs quickly.
Oh!
Craig drops him.
Big right hand by Kris Craig. We talked about this in the inside the cage. Kris Craig hits like a big 185-pound fighter.
Absolutely he does.
Now he's in mount right here, and Kris is a collegiate wrestler, so he's got a very good base.
And a great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner.
Yeah, he's not bad at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, the difference right here is Kris Craig will stay calm.
Right. Hamid looking for a leg lock, though.
Got to watch out for these up kicks.
Is Kris going to let him up?
Kris says come up. I don't think LC wants any of that.
Oh, again!
Big uppercut right there, Kris Craig.
Both of these guys are throwing hands to knock him out. Kris Craig in the red tape, LC Hamid in the blue.
I'd like to see Kris keep his hands up a little bit more, but
that's not Kris's style.
I'm not going to lie. Kris looking like a ninja right now.
He does not want to go to the ground with him.
And that just tells you how much Kris Craig has grown as a competitor.
Oh, Hamid just looking for everything here.
I think he's thrown every strike he knows how to throw.
Craig again. Hamid is looking for the leg lock every time Craig throws him down.
Absolutely, but that's actually not a bad idea because he's like throwing darts at a dartboard. He's just seeing what's going to stick.
Craig very calm in there.
Yeah, what I like is Kris is not falling for the bait. He's not getting too frustrated and jumping in whenever LC just stays on the ground like that.
Craig is such a kind of a herky-jerky fighter. He's got a lot of head movement. He plays a lot of feints. Fights with his hands low, but gets him back up for the kicks again.
Great defense right there by Kris Craig.
Oh, Hamid looking for the submission here, trying to lock up the leg.
Yeah, but now Kris has gotten that leg into a safe position. I'd like to see Kris start throwing a couple hammer fists right here.
Kris trying to control. Hamid looking to finish here.
What Kris needs to do is try to get a hold of LC's head.
Nice step out there by Kris Craig.
That's basic wrestling right there.
Both of these guys are just super fast.
I feel like it's like Groundhog's Day. He keeps catching the kick with a little hook, going to the ground. But see right here, Kris looks like he's trying to pass get into half guard right here.
Kris working that overhook position, stands up high.
Good, great posture right there by Kris.
Oh, up kick there to the head.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that right there.
Looking for the submission here.
Kris needs to keep his composure.
Hamid looking for an omoplata.
Kris looks like he's not worried at all. I'd like to see Kris get that arm out of there. Just limp arm out, limp arm out.
Hamid, you're trying to go for that triangle. Gets back to full guard position. Kris was complaining to the ref about that upshot.
Oh.
Big elbow.
I think he knocked some of his hair off, Jeremy. And right here, Kris is taking that back. There's 45 left. This is not good for LC.
LC trying to trap that arm now.
That might be a ponytail holder.
Well, that makes for an interesting in the corner. If that ponytail holder broke, what's he going to do? Hope his corner's got another one.
Hey, Benson Henderson, man, just let it go. But look at Kris, got that one hook in right here, trying to get that left leg in for the second hook. LC's doing a good job of controlling the hands right here, but Kris is doing a great job of staying composed. Look at him climb up the back like that. That's an athlete.
10 seconds here in the first round.
Mount
Craig just big hands, lands in full mount. Big elbow. Craig slamming to finish.
Elbows to finish the round.
Saved by the bell.
Kris Craig, I think, stole round one right there. LC drops his mouthpiece. He's looking worn out. Do we think he's going to get up for round two?
He hasn't made it to his corner yet.
I don't think he's going to answer the bell. I think he's done. Missing weight, you wonder how much that took out of him as well.
Absolutely. Because it's tough. I mean, he tried everything he could to make weight. As we look at our instant replay, Craig catches a kick, big overhand right, drops him down. Hamid immediately goes though for that leg lock, doesn't get it. Craig swarms down. If you're in the corner here of LC Hamid, what does he got to do?
He's got to start throwing some strikes. If he wants to get it on the ground, he's going to have to get some strikes, set up that takedown. It's basic MMA right there. Strikes to a takedown.
One thing Kris Craig is known for is his gas tank. Second round of this 3-round contest.
So now here, LC has felt the power in Kris's hands. So I think he's a little cautious to get in there and try to trade with them.
But a big overhand right there out of Hamid.
Yeah, LC doesn't, he's not throwing like soft shots, you know what I mean? Kris is cutting off that cage.
Hamid switches stances now. Nice jumping side kick there out of Hamid. Both of these guys extremely technical. Craig going up high. Big overhand there.
LC, this is what LC needed to do. He needed to get him against the cage on his terms. So now he can try to work for a takedown and try to advance that position right there. He's going to wrap that leg up, try to run the pipe. I think with Kris, though, you're going to need a little bit more advanced takedowns right there because Kris is, like we said, is a great wrestler.
Kris pummeling back for that underhook. Hamid separates.
What LC could have done right there was broken off just a little bit and got some elbows going. I think LC watched some Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme before he got out here.
Now let's see, will Craig go to the ground with him?
See, this is what I like. I like to see Kris just start chopping up those legs. At some point, though, I was going to say, at some point, Dwayne's just going to have to go ahead and either stand him up. But right here, see Kris
covering the mouth, making it dirty, trying to cut off the breathing.
Absolutely, but what Kris did was he passed right into half guard. I think Kris will try to clear that leg and get back to full mount because at the end of that first round, he ended with some elbows right there in mount. And I know LC don't want to go right there again. But you can see Kris, he's looking to pass.
Some elbows to the body there from Craig. Hamid answering from the bottom. Craig using that head position.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to step over and pin that arm down. That's actually one of my favorite moves to do, Jeremy.
To get into that crucifix position?
It is, but it's kind of hard to do. 2 reasons for Kris. He's got shorter legs than me, and also he's stuck in that half guard. You're not going to be able to get that leg out. You need to clear that guard.
Down to 2 minutes remaining here in the second round.
LC's not really throwing up anything right now. Now he's
But
back
he gets
to guard.
back to full guard.
He has a pretty active guard. We saw that the first round.
Here it comes. Looking for that arm bar.
Arm bars and triangles, what he's trying to do. Kris is doing a good job of stacking it, but what he needs to do is follow those hips. Both arms in. I like to see Kris grab the back of the head and just start bringing LC's head to his fist as he's throwing those punches down.
Hamid trying to get those hips up there.
Yeah.
Again, looking for that submission.
Hamid's doing a good job of throwing up submissions. The armbar's not that far off from getting there. The problem is I think he's tired, so he's not having a good luck of actually executing a game plan.
Craig is so calm in there, though. Oh, big one!
Nice
big
job.
Shot.
I think that's the beginning
LC.
of the end. He's tapping out. Nice work by Kris Craig.
Kris Craig finishes the fight.
And Kris talking a little bit. I'd like to see Kris just keep his composure. I like Arion picked up Kris, and I'm still taller. Nice work by Kris Craig. That was a beautiful performance.
As we look at our instant replay, Kris Craig gets in that guard position, starts working the body. Hamid goes for the submission. Craig throws away, big overhand right.
That was the beginning of the end right there.
And then just starts dropping bombs. Hamid taps due to strike.
And see right there, nothing was getting through. He's just overwhelming, and great conditioning by Kris Craig. I think you could have kept that pace up the whole time.
Beautiful fight. All the trash talk is over. Kris Craig taking the win in commanding fashion. Beautiful fight. Let's send this one up to the cage to Joe Parisi to give us our results.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 3 minutes 55 seconds of round number 2, this fight comes to a close. Your winner by TKO due to strikes, Kris Craig!
A huge win for Kris Craig here. The beef is settled. They hug it out in the center of the cage. Great show of sportsmanship on both guys here after all the trash talking. But we have more to come, because coming up after the break, it is our co-main event of the evening as Derek Scotts take on Orel Fisher.